Before you reach for your next meal, pause for a moment. What if everything you've been told about eating 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, wasn't designed for your body? What if it's slowly draining your energy and cluttering your health rather than sustaining it? In this video, we're diving deep into a truth modern medicine rarely highlights: why intermittent fasting might be the forgotten secret to senior vitality and longevity. If you care about living stronger, clearer, and longer, hit that subscribe button and stay with me until the end. This might change how you think about food forever. For most of human history, people didn't eat 3 meals a day. Before the Industrial Revolution, farmers and villagers often had 2 meals daily, one at midday, one in the evening. Ancient Greeks, including Hippocrates, emphasized moderation and fasting as part of medicine. Religious traditions, from Christianity to Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism, all integrated fasting not just as spiritual discipline, but as physical renewal. So, how do we arrive at the 3 meals a day rhythm? Historians trace it to industrial society, where structured work hours and marketing from food industries pushed regular eating schedules to boost productivity and consumption. In short, it wasn't a biological shift, but an economic one. Now, as you get older, your metabolism slows, your cells regenerate more slowly, and your digestive system becomes more sensitive. The same amount of food that once energized it can now lead to fatigue, inflammation, and poor digestion. Eating constantly forces your body to work overtime when it should be resting and repairing. Let's take the story of Harold Benson, a retired bus driver from Minnesota. At 68, Harold's life was filled with medication bottles, blood pressure pills, insulin injections, heartburn tablets. His doctor constantly warned him about his weight and sugar levels, but nothing really changed. He ate like he always had, 3 meals and frequent snacks, because that's what he'd been taught. One Sunday, during a church health discussion, a nurse mentioned something called time-restricted eating. Harold was skeptical. Skipping meals sounded dangerous, but a few other retirees shared their experiences of fasting-based routines. One woman said her joint pain vanished. Another mentioned sharper focus. Harold decided to try, just for a week. He started simple, skipping breakfast, having his first meal at noon, and finishing dinner by 7 p.m. The first days were tough. Old habits fought back. But by the second week, he noticed something astonishing. The morning brain fog was lifting. His blood pressure readings improved, his energy steadier. In 3 months, under supervision, his doctor helped reduce his insulin dosage. By his 70th birthday, Harold no longer felt like an old man. He said, "I stopped feeding my problems." Harold's journey isn't unique. It's mirrored across the globe by seniors who discover what happens when they give their body the gift of rest between meals. The science: what happens when you fast? When you fast, meaning you go without food for extended periods, your body switches from digesting to repairing. Here's what unfolds inside you. Insulin levels drop. This allows your body to access stored fat for energy. Cellular cleanup begins, autophagy. Your cells break down damaged proteins and recycle them into new structures, a process essential for brain and immune health. Inflammation decreases. Fasting reduces inflammatory markers that contribute to arthritis, heart disease, and joint pain. Human growth hormone HGH rises, even in seniors. Fasting stimulates HGH, which helps repair tissues and maintain muscle mass. Mental clarity improves. As glucose stabilizes and ketones rise, the brain operates on a cleaner, more efficient fuel. According to longevity researchers like Dr. Walter Longo and Dr. Jason Fung, fasting gently pushes the body into a state of healing and balance, precisely what aging bodies need. 1. Digestive overload. With age, digestive enzymes decrease and metabolism slows. Constant eating forces your pancreas, liver, and intestinal tract to work nonstop, leaving less energy for healing or brain function. 2. Insulin resistance. Frequent meals keep insulin elevated, making it harder for the body to burn fat. This leads to prediabetes and energy crashes. 3. Chronic inflammation. The continual process of digestion can trigger low-grade inflammation, the silent culprit behind arthritis, dementia, and heart disease. 4. Poor sleep and cell repair. The body performs its restoration work during fasting states, especially while sleeping. Late-night snacking blocks the natural rhythm of repair. 5. Fatigue and mood swings. Constant food intake spikes and drops blood sugar, leading to mood changes, irritability, and fatigue. For seniors, the body responds more favorably to cycles of feeding and fasting, aligning with circadian rhythms rather than fighting against them. In 2015, Dr. Sarah Lynn, a gerontologist at a San Diego clinic, began observing a pattern among her senior patients. Those who unconsciously skipped breakfast, simply because they weren't hungry in the mornings, had better vitality markers, lower blood pressure, stable sugar levels, clearer skin. She quietly began informal fasting programs with patients who consented. Over 2 years, results astounded her. Seniors who adopted a 14-hour fast from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. showed marked improvement in cognitive function tests, HDL, good cholesterol, blood sugar stability, sleep quality. Dr. Lin later admitted, it was a medication that made the greatest difference. It was time. Giving the body time to rest between meals restored its balance. Though not an official trial, her observations inspired further study at nearby universities, eventually supporting research that intermittent fasting may slow cellular aging markers. How fasting resets the aging clock. The secret lies in a biological process called autophagy, awarded the 2016 Nobel Prize in Medicine to Dr. Yoshinori Osumi. In simple terms, autophagy means self-eating, your cell's clean house, removing toxins, repairing DNA, and rejuvenating tissues. This natural detox process intensifies after 12 to 16 hours of fasting. For seniors, this means removal of dead or malfunctioning cells lower inflammation-reduced chance of degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, improve immunity and memory retention. Think of fasting as sending your body's repair crew on duty, a process 3 square meals often interrupt. Seniors often fear fasting due to myths. It will make me weak or I'll lose muscle. Yet studies reveal moderate fasting, especially when paired with gentle movement and sufficient protein intake, preserves muscle and even enhances resilience. Still, fasting is not a competition. It must be done mindfully. If you have diabetes, consult your doctor before changing eating patterns. Stay hydrated. Herbal teas, water, and light broth support your fast. Gradually extend fasting windows. Start with 12 hours, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., then move to 14 or 16 hours. Break fast gently. Fruits, soups, steamed vegetables. Avoid heavy fried foods right after fasting. Remember, fasting isn't starvation. It's structured nourishment with intentional pauses. Grace, a 73-year-old retired schoolteacher from Atlanta, suffered from chronic inflammation, brain fog, and dependency on antacids. Her granddaughter introduced her to fasting videos. Reluctantly, she tried skipping breakfast twice a week. By week 4, her bloating had vanished. Months later, her doctor weaned her off acid reflux medication. Grace often jokes, I didn't need more vitamins. I just needed more silence between meals. Her fasting journey soon inspired others in her senior living community. Together they formed a fasting circle, where members track their energy levels, sleep quality, and mental clarity. Over coffee, during feeding hours, of course. They share progress, a living proof that change doesn't retire with age. Every bite of food, especially carbohydrates, triggers insulin release. Insulin's job is to store energy, but when constantly elevated, it blocks fat burning and promotes inflammation. Chronically high insulin accelerates aging. Scientists call this insulin-driven aging. The body remains in storage mode, never giving cells a break to repair. When seniors fast, insulin levels drop, cellular stress decreases, and growth factors for brain health increase. It's nature's way of rebooting your metabolism. A landmark 2019 study from the University of Alabama found that adults practicing early time-restricted eating, finishing food before 6 p.m., had significant improvements in insulin sensitivity, even without reducing calorie intake. For seniors struggling with stubborn belly fat or fluctuating sugar, this offers new hope. Beyond the physical, fasting offers emotional and even spiritual healing. Many seniors describe a surprising calmness, focus, and sense of control after adapting to fewer daily meals. Fasting teaches discipline, gratitude, and presence. sensing your body's rhythm rather than feeding out a habit or boredom. Religious fasting traditions emphasize cleansing the spirit and mind, which aligns with modern neuroscience, showing that fasting supports neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new healthy connections. In elders, this helps protect against age-related cognitive decline. The truth is, the traditional health model often assumes frequent eating equals nourishment. Yet, excessive feeding, particularly energy-dense, low-nutrition meals, promotes metabolic disease. Fasting doesn't fit neatly into medical handbooks written for pharmacological management. There's no profit in a habit that costs nothing and heals gradually. That's why many doctors rarely mention fasting. Not because it's unsafe, but because it's underexplored in conventional training. However, emerging voices in geriatric medicine are changing that. Hospitals and clinics now pilot fast-mimicking diets under supervision, showing benefits from better insulin control to improved cancer therapy tolerance. 1. Start with time-restricted eating, TRE. Choose a 12-hour fasting window first. For example, from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., then eat only between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., gradually move to 14 to 16 hours. 2. Choose quality over quantity. During eating hours, prioritize whole foods, lean proteins, vegetables, fruit, healthy fats, and fiber. 3. Drink water and herbal tea. Hydration prevents fatigue and supports detox processes during fasting. 4. Avoid emotional eating triggers. Read, take a walk, or listen to music to distract your mind while adjusting. 5. Monitor health markers. Track blood pressure, glucose, and energy. Consult regularly with your healthcare provider. The body's circadian rhythm governs hormones, digestion, and metabolism. Eating heavily after sunset disrupts these cycles, contributing to poor sleep and weight gain. Aligning food intake with daylight supports digestive enzymes and enhances nutrient absorption, a principle Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine have preached for centuries. For seniors, this means finishing dinner early, ideally 3 hours before bedtime, allowing undisturbed repair and restful sleep. Fasting in the blue zones. Take a look at world's blue zones, regions with exceptionally long-lived populations, such as Okinawa in Japan, Ikaria in Greece, and Loma Linda in California. None of them follow the 3-meal rule. In Okinawa, seniors eat 2 modest meals. In Ikaria, lunch might be the main meal, while dinner is minimal. Their longevity isn't coincidence. It's lifestyle. They intuitively fast, letting the body rest, detoxify, and rejuvenate. A modern senior's journey. Retired nurse Elena Ruiz, 75, began 16:8 fasting 16 hours, eating during an 8-hour window after her knee surgery. Initially inspired to lose postoperative weight, she discovered deeper benefits. Her skin glowed, sleep deepened, and her mental sharpness returned. Her orthopedic surgeon later remarked that her healing rate was unusually fast for her age. Elena now advocates fasting in her community's wellness workshops, reminding peers, fasting isn't deprivation. It's remembering what hunger feels like and realizing it's not your enemy. The older we grow, the more we realize less is often more. Fasting isn't about ignoring the body. It's about listening to it honestly. 3 decades ago, constant eating was normal. Today, it's a silent cause of silent suffering. Seniors who embrace fasting aren't following a trend. They're returning to nature's rhythm. You are not obligated to eat by the clock. Your appetite is your body's signal, not society's schedule. When you fast wisely, you let your body's inner physician work. You awaken deeper vitality, the kind that medication can't bottle. So, next time someone says, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, smile gently and remember, it used to be true for workers on the field, not necessarily for healers in their prime years. Eat with purpose, rest with intention, live with energy. Now tell me, how many meals do you really need to feel alive? If this story inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and share with senior you care about. Because maybe the path to renewal isn't adding more, it's taking less, but with wisdom.